Hi, this is Debbie from Organic Oasis in California, Zone 9B. I've done two videos about garlic, growing garlic in Zone 9B. One video that I made was when I planted the garlic cloves in a grow bag and set up irrigation system. So you can find that on my organic tomato Tim and my Organic Oasis channel. And then I just recently harvested the garlic and did a video on that as well. Today, I just want to show you what I'm doing next. So I'm taking my garlic. It's been cured for over 2 weeks, hanging in my garage, just hanging. I had one of the grow bags that I harvested. I just put them in a wagon that has holes in it, and it's a crate. I forget what it's called, but it's the kind of wagon you use to cart dirt around and things. So it just has a lot of holes, and it's made out of metal. So I left one of my harvest just laying in there for the 2 weeks. The other ones I bunched and hung in the garage. So it's been 2 weeks and they're mostly dry. So what I'm doing today is I'm just cutting off the roots. And it's actually, if you're going to store them or braid them, it's optional. Some people like to keep them on because they think they look better. And then I'm just pulling off this dry outer layer. And I'm taking this dirt, and I'm just kind of just taking this cloth, and it just rubs right off. So in my last video, I talked about really wanting to learn how to braid garlic. And I have grown garlic in previous years, and I just always take my garlic, I cut the roots off, I cure it, I cut the roots off, I cut the stem off, and I store it in a mesh bag in my pantry. And I use it all year. That's all I've ever done with my garlic. It lasts forever. It's great. This year, I thought, oh, it'd be nice to actually braid it. It looked pretty. As I started researching it, though, I'm finding out that if you take your garlic and you braid it and you leave it in your kitchen hanging up, it just isn't going to last as long because humidity and sun is going to cause it to sprout. So it may last only maybe 3 to 4 months. You know how when you go to the store and you buy garlic bulbs and you put them in your I have like a fruit basket I throw them into, and in a month they're sprouting. So that's what's going to happen if you hang it up. And so I'm thinking, why go through the trouble of braiding the garlic if it's not going to last that long? And I don't want to have to throw any of my garlic away because I took, I grew it so that I can preserve it for a year and have, you know, organic garlic to use and not have to go to the grocery store and purchase it. So I've decided I'm not going to braid it. I may braid I may just practice and fool around with braiding just to see if I can do it for fun, but I don't think I'm going to store it that way. And I've been researching a lot of different ways to store garlic. I know that you can freeze it and you can mince it, and you could do one part minced garlic with 2 parts minced olive oil or avocado oil. And that can store in your freezer up to 9 months. But if you just mince garlic and freeze it in blobs, or you can still do an ice cube tray, or you just freeze it in clumps, you can store it up to a year in your freezer. So that seems really good to me. And also you can just take it and just cut it and just store the actual dried, cured bulbs hanging in a bag in your pantry, and that can also last up to a year. So that's what I'm thinking of doing, is storing some in my kitchen pantry just in a bag, and then possibly mincing some and freezing them. You can also dehydrate garlic and make minced dehydrated garlic powder, and then make all kinds of seasonings. That's another thing that's interesting me because I do like to dehydrate. So I might play around with that a little bit. But today I just wanted to show you how I am processing my cured garlic bulbs. And after this, I will show you how I'm going to store most of them. And then I will make another video when I go to mince it and show you how I'm going to mince it and freeze it. I like the idea of mincing it because also when you mince it, you can just basically put it in the freezer. It takes up no space at all. And then you can just take those little minced ice cubes, frozen cubes, and throw them in your soups and things. And so you basically don't have to, peel them and chop them and all that stuff. So if you're in a hurry and you're trying to do like some kind of soup or stew or some crock pot thing and you just want quick garlic, it's nice to have some minced garlic in the freezer. So I'll show you that as well. So I'll show you again. I've got some beautiful big garlic and medium-sized garlic. And some of my smallest garlic is like this. So you can see the difference in the sizes here. But that's okay because it's all great. Now, some people will keep their largest garlic bulbs to plant the next year. And I probably will do that. I will just keep it and I'll try to eat the smaller and medium ones first. And then next year, I'll pull one of my bigger ones to use to replant. I finished prepping my garlic. I removed all the roots and cleaned it, pulled off some of the dry outer layer. And so I'm going to keep my big bulbs intact like this to attempt braiding. But I'm going to take my smaller bulbs, and now that they're all clean, I'm just going to cut them. You can cut them 1 inch above, or you can cut all the way to here. I'm just going to kind of do it halfway, like that. And then I'm just going to put them in a bag like this. Now, I just bought this bag. It was like $1 at Walmart, and I just really liked it. It's a mesh bag, but it has a really nice colored, it's cute. And you can just hang it up somewhere, and it's very cute. I have another bag that I really like. This one is just completely mesh. Again, it has a handle. It doesn't look like it can hold weight very much. I peeled off some cloves and put some cloves in here. I'm going to start peeling some cloves and getting ready to mince them. So I'm just basically going to go find my smallest bulbs, and I'm just going to cut like this and store them just like this in this bag. And then I'll be hanging it up in my dark pantry. My pantry is out in my garage, which gets way too hot and way too cold. I have a smaller, just a cabinet in my kitchen. I'm calling it my pantry, but it's really actually just a kitchen cabinet. I'll be putting it in there. So I bought 2 garlic bulbs from Trader Joe's, and that is what I planted to get this harvest. And out of 2 garlic bulbs planted in 2 8 by 2 feet diameter planters, I just counted, I got 48 garlic bulbs. So from 2 garlic bulbs, planting 2 garlic bulbs, I got 48 bulbs. That's averaging 24 bulbs per one. So planting 1 bulb will give you 24 bulbs, possibly, if you get a good harvest like me. So that's why planting garlic is so important, and it's easy. It took 6 months, and you have to be patient, but it's super easy. And I'm going to link to the bag, but it's an 8-inch tall by 2 feet diameter bag that I bought on Amazon. I think it's priced at $7.99 right now. And I put dirt in, soil, good potting soil. And I think I mixed a little bit of fertilizer and a lot of compost into the bag, and some worm compost, and kept it moist and watered. And I mean, this is what I got. So I hope this convinces you to try growing garlic. And I will do another video when I mince it to show you how easy that is. And yeah, that's it. I'm done processing my garlic. I have most of my bulbs in here, and they're cut. I've cut off the roots and the stem, peeled off some of the dirt and scraped off some of the dirt. So now I have this garlic just in this mesh bag. I'll be keeping it in my dark kitchen, a cabinet in my kitchen that is away from my stove, away from sunlight, away from anything hot, away from the refrigerator. It's actually like what you would call a buffet, where I keep like things that I don't use very often, and I'll just be putting that in there. And hopefully it will keep for a year. I'll be taking some of this in the next week and mincing it and freezing it, and I'll make a video on that. Here is my attempt at it. I did make a little braid, and I only used 7 cloves, But I just really wanted to try this. I just think it looks so cool and it looks so pretty. But I think it came out good. I had it tied up here. I didn't use any string. I just French braided it and I wrapped it up here. But my idea is just to use this. I'll just keep it in my kitchen and use it up. These will be the first garlic cloves I use. I think they're really, really pretty. I think this is beautiful. It would make an awesome gift too. But and you can make them long or big. But like I said, I don't think hanging this in my kitchen or keeping it anywhere where it's going to get a lot of sun or temperature changes, it may sprout, and then I will, not have this preserved for long term. And my goal with this garlic is to preserve it long term so I can use it for the next full year. So if you're enjoying these type of videos, following Tomato Tim and I in organic Oasis in California in a suburban backyard, please subscribe, comment on this video, let me know if you grow garlic and what you do with it, how you preserve it. We love the gardening community and we love to stay really embedded in the gardening community. So anything that you have to share, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Have a great growing season.